Hi, everyone. This is Jeffrey. This is Right Color. This is your reading for March 13th, Saturday. I hope you're well. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, press the bell for notifications. I feel like my head has to bounce when I say that. I'm offering 30-minute readings for $30. All the information is below. It's lovely. I had a nice walk yesterday. And I got the most amazing croissant. The most amazing croissant. Yeah. There's not a really good bakery near where I live. There used to be, but now it's a little bit of a walk, which is strange, but it's all right. Hopefully when things get back to a more productive economy, let's say, someone will open a lovely bakery nearby. And I'll get really, really satisfied. I was going to say something else, and it's like, no, I'm not. Okay. Let's see what's going on for the 13th. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's a strange combo. Okay. The 10 of Cups, the 7 of Swords, the 3 of Wands. Okay. So let's go there. All right. Well, the 10 of Cups is really a lovely card. This is really about, well, first of all, 10s are about completion. So there might be a cycle that's over, right? Or like an emotional situation, let's say, that is complete. I like this hat, but it never does it never retains its shape. Okay. I mean, overall, it's a really great card. You know, this is about being satisfied. This is like the happily ever after card. This is about being full. This is really about gratitude. It's really, really deeply about gratitude for everything one has and for everything that is, not for what isn't. You know, this is about concentrating on what is. Then we get the 7 of Swords. So obviously this is a bit of the thief. The 7 also, you know, as I've said before, sometimes we get lost in the iconography of these cards. And unfortunately, in the iconography, all the swords are pretty much negative, you know, and swords are about thought and it's about ideas. So, and a 7 is about confidence. So, you know, interestingly, but what always strikes me about this card, what always really strikes me above and beyond anything else is that not so much that he's a thief, but he's doing it in the broad daylight. It's like, you know, walking into like a fancy jewelry store and just reaching into the case as if it was nothing, as if, you know, you owned the place, and taking out a big diamond or a big ruby or whatever, and just putting it in your pocket and saying, nice to see you. See you later. And just walking out with it. It's a little bit like that. So there's a certain confidence. There's a certain confidence. So what this also sometimes means to me is like the ideas are out there in the world. Like all the ideas are out there in the world. Not all of them, but many of them are out there in the world. And this is about taking it and making it yours. Taking it and making it yours. It's almost as if, you know, like what's his name had the idea for Amazon. And it's like, well, it's a great idea. right? It's a great idea. You take everything, you put it online, la la la. But it doesn't mean that no one else can run with that idea. You know, he started specifically with books, remember? So it's like, okay, well, what kind of a catalog can I bring that they don't specialize in? Because, you know, sometimes you want to buy a book, you go to a bookstore, someone who specializes in books. You know, Amazon like kind of specializes in everything, which is a little bit strange. And then sometimes you can't find what you need because there's so much, it's so overwhelming. I used to work at a store that sold sneakers, like all the really cool sneakers, tennis shoe, whatever you want to call them, kicks. And we had so many that it was really kind of overwhelming, you know? So the way I would help people was men's store, and men are easy customers generally. They want to replace, a lot of times they just really want to replace what they have. So I'd see a guy come in and he'd have like a black sneaker with like a blue stripe. So I know he likes black and blue, but it was literally falling apart. It's like he came in here to, I'm a great salesman. He came in here to replace those shoes. So what I need to do to make the sale is to find a black shoe with a blue stripe, or, you know, something similar that makes sense with, you know, kind of what he's looking for. He didn't have to tell me what he was looking for, because like sometimes these guys would come in and like there'd be fringes hanging off the shoes. It's like, where have you been? You know, did you walk through like a forest of spikes or something? It's really weird. So sometimes this is about taking an idea that's out in the ether and making it yours confidently. Say, oh, I could run with that idea. I could run with that idea. And somehow you make it yours. You know, somehow you involve maybe an emotional component to it. You know, it's something that excites you. It's something that excites you. So, you know, sometimes these bakeries become famous for one specific thing that they do, right? Oh, well, so now, I know they're all doing it, but so generally you can get a plain croissant, an almond croissant, or a chocolate croissant. And some of them are combining the almond and chocolate, and they're amazing. You know, and maybe there's a way to make like some sort of fruit croissant or some sort of, see what I mean? To make it yours. So it's an idea that's out there, but somehow you make it yours with your passion. That's what I'm getting. And, you know, go confidently. This is about creativity. This is about seeing the lay of the land. So this guy has a 360 view. He's got a plan. He's ready to implement his plan. And it's really planned out. It really makes sense because he's on the tell. The tell is, you know, I watch a lot of archaeology. So a tell is like an area that people have been, this is how they discovered like Göbekli Tepe. It's an area that's raised above the plain because people have been living there for such a long time. They throw their garbage and it just becomes a mound, right? But it's a man-made mound. And if you stand upon that and actually stand upon the shoulders of others in a way, right? Stand upon like the security and the stability of your family and of your emotional gratitude and your emotional fulfillment, you know, not necessarily a family, you know, it's nuclear family. Then, you know, you're going to be in good standing. You're going to be in good standing. And, you know, sometimes we all think we have to reinvent the wheel. It's like, it's not necessarily about reinventing the wheel. It's just not necessarily about reinventing the wheel. It just isn't. It's about taking what you're good at and what works for you and like confidently claiming it and using all the information and all the stuff that you're getting and forming it into something that is productive and useful. The birds agree with me. I put the suet out. Suet is like this block, of seeds and stuff. And you put it in a cage, and the birds, it's on my fire escape. So they say hang it on a tree. It's like, there is no tree. They haven't figured it out yet. It's like, figure it out, little birds. They're around, but it's like, I gave you something to eat. Why aren't you eating? You know how like you go to like some ethnic grandma's house, and it's like she puts food in front of you, and it's like this much food. It's like this, and it's like eat. I kind of feel like that, and it's like they haven't even started. Anyway, they will when they do. And so this is actually, this is about a moving forward finally. And I've had some new ideas, to tell you the truth. And, it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about confidently going out and taking what's already there and somehow making it yours. I'm not saying you go to a store and, you give me your business. Sometimes, you're able to see what other people are doing, and, maybe 80% of it makes sense, or maybe 90%, or maybe 50%. And then, you put your own spin on it, and then it becomes, yours, and something you're passionate about, something that is emotionally fulfilling, and you can offer it to the world. That's what it's about. Okay. Blessings to you. And it's also a new moon. So sometimes I light a little candle for the new moon. The new moon is dark in the sky, but it's actually a good time to start stuff. And Pisces, it's a Pisces new moon. And Pisces is deeply intuitive, deeply, completely, like they live intuitive. It's not like they have to tune in. It's just there. And it's very, it's deeply emotional. It's artistic. It's, and the other thing is, you have to let things flow. Pisces is the fish going one way and then the other. You have to let things like even out and flow. I live near the Hudson, and the Hudson does this. It's really weird because the ocean comes in, but the tide is still coming down because it's basically a delta, even though it doesn't do a traditional delta. And you have to let new in and let old out simultaneously. So anything that's in your way, or that you feel is in your way, ask for it to be removed and ask for new stuff to come in. Just align with the powers that be. Whatever is my greatest good, I welcome it in, and whatever is not for my greatest good, I release. Sit with that. You can get more specific if you want, but that's the basic premise of it. Sit with that, let things go, and let new things in simultaneously. Because sometimes we get so caught up in, I have to have it my way, and the universe is kind of giving us messages of, ways that it'll work. It's like, no, it's my way or the highway. It's my ego. It's like, sometimes that works, but most times it doesn't. Most times it's sort of like you're getting messages for a reason. And it's about following those messages in order to be productive and useful and helpful, etc. It's not what I want here. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it in my way. But I need to let go, for me, of my stubbornness, of my pride, of my, I know the best way and the only way. Maybe have an inkling of what works, But if I keep on getting, hits and messages and things around, say, well, you could veer off to the left, veer off to the right, step on the gas harder, whatever, then, it's not for nothing. It's not for nothing. And sometimes these ideas come from people outside of ourselves. And sometimes they come from people that you don't think really have anything to offer. Yeah, that's another, pride thing that I have to let go of. It's like sometimes some little 4-year-old kid will say something and it's like, oh, that's, I think you're right, or etc. Or something you see on, media, or a sign, or, a sign you see on the street, or it could come from anywhere. Be open, take it in, and then utilize it. Utilize it. It's about, utilizing it. The dude took that thing and he's leaving the camp, right? So he's utilizing it. I've spoken plenty today. Blessings to you. And I have to go change my outfits for all the weeklies. I'm going to do the weeklies today. Very exciting. If you want a one-on-one, all the information is below. Blessings, blessings, blessings.